Hi, this is Mr. Ng, and I'm going over this. This should be a Chapter 11 test. This is dealt with three-dimensional objects. Identify the following 3D object. It has a rectangular base here or here. That could be your base, or here and here. Parallel and congruent stacking is a right rectangular prism. Number 2, match by writing one letter in each blank. So rotating a triangle, if you draw this, that would give you a cone. Stacking similar rectangles, that's going to give you a pyramid. Rotating a rectangle, that was a drill bit, you'll get a cylinder. Translating a rectangle is just like above. You can translate it from here to there, like your CD cases, so that would be a rectangular prism. And rotating a circle would give you a sphere. So cube was not used. Number 3, match by writing one letter in each blank. So volume equals base times height. That would be a volume of a prism. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's the formula to find the slant height. So just imagine that's called your slant height, or that's the hypotenuse in the Pythagorean theorem. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. That is a volume of a sphere. This option over here is volume of a triangle. Volume equals 1/3 base times height. That's pyramid or a cone. Area equals pi r squared is the area of a circle. Now, the reason why I didn't use C, and that should make sense, the volume of a triangle, volume is 3-dimensional and triangle is 2-dimensional. In the diagram below, a right circular cone has a diameter of 8 inches and a height of 12. So you see that 12, there's 8. What is the volume of the cone to the nearest cubic inch? So that means this is 4. Volume equals base times height divided by 3, and there's 3 cones in a cylinder, and then therefore the base is a circle, so pi r squared h divided by 3. And don't forget, here's the trick, is that 4 is my radius. Diameter is 8, so radius is 4 and 4. My height there is 12, and divide that by 3. So I'm going to get 4 squared, which is 16 pi times 12 divided by 3. Pull out my calculator, and I'm just going to multiply 16 times 12. My answer is probably going to be near 192. I'm going to guess 201, because essentially pi and 3 are essentially the same. You cancel those out. So I'm going to multiply that by pi. Pi button, my calculator is here, press equals, and divide my answer by 3, and I get 201. It says to the nearest cubic inch, so that's a whole number there, so that would be A is my correct answer. Number 5, write the name of the solid figure that would result from rotating the plane figure shown below around the axis shown. So did the one over here, that would be a cone. Here it's just turned sideways. If you rotate that around, that would be a cylinder. Multiple choice, use Cavalari's principle. What can you conclude about the volume of these two cones, assuming that the heights are equal? So the h here is equal, and the radii is also equal. We'll learn in Cavalari's principle that if this is a right cylinder, it's a right cylinder because the height is inside. This is called an oblique because the height is outside. The volumes are actually the same. That would be I. So let's double count how many points we have on this page. This would be 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that'd be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 points. 2 points each. That's 4 and 2. So I got 6 plus 2 is 8. Got 28. I got 30 points for the front side. For the back side. Translate each triangle to create a second triangle. Use dashed line segments to connect the corresponding vertices. So translate this triangle in a horizontal direction. So horizontal means going in this direction. So vertically, and that would be an example of diagonal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take this triangle. It has 3 dots. You could do it anywhere over here. 3 dots this way. 3 dots the other way. Now I'm going to use dashed lines to show a horizontal translation. So now we're going to go from vertice to vertice. And you'll notice that these two kind of overlap. And there is your translation. So 4 points for that one. Relate the dimensions of the plane figure shown. Relate the dimensions of the plane figure to the solid figure. So solid is 3D. So this is a 3D figure. This is the plane figure, 2-dimensional, that results from its rotation around the axis. So imagine you take this and rotate it around, you get this. So a common mistake is people just think, well, what shape do I get? But it's not asking you the shape, it's asking you to relate the dimensions. So what are dimensions? One of those dimensions is this one in yellow. That would be the height. The heights are the same. So the height of the 2D relates, there's the key word, to the height of the 3D. That's one way. Another one you could have said is here in red. So you can write the radii or radius of the 2D relates. Now, sorry, radius of the 3-dimensional object, or the radius of the cone. Over here, you can't call, we don't normally call this a radius of a triangle. So here you could have said base of the triangle. So the first one I did height, and the second one I did the radius. I guess you could also say, for number 3, you could say something like the slant height or the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse of the triangle relates to the slant height of the cone. So either of those 3 would be fully acceptable. Question number 10, what is the volume in cubic centimeters of a cylinder? So I need to get a cylinder that has a height of 9. So you can draw this on your picture if that helps you. This is a height of 9 and a diameter of 8. Leave your answer in terms of pi. So we should have pi in our answer. So anytime you're stacking congruent objects, that's a prism. In this case, this prism has a base of a circle. So let me highlight that for you. This is the base. I did it down here too. The base. Now, the common mistake is right away, if you have the formula, 2 points, good, is putting the base to be 8. The base is pi r squared times the height. And our height is here in blue. So the radius, remember, is from the center of a circle to the end point of a circle. So that'll be 4 squared, and your height is 9. Here you're just using PEMDAS to simplify, so you're going to do exponents, can't do anything in parentheses, so 16 times 9. And now you gravitate pi towards the back. 54, 5 plus 9 is 144 pi centimeters cubed, and that'll be your correct answer. Notice I have pi in here, and I'm not multiplying by what my calculator says, approximately 3.14, blah, blah, blah. Question number 11, what is the volume given the slant height? So they're telling you right here, that's the slant height. That you can call as L of 13 units. Round your answer to be to the nearest tenth. Okay. So the first thing we need is, it's kind of hard to see. There's a three-dimensional, this is three-dimensional, and in there you have a triangle. So I'm going to draw this triangle. Let's see if I can color code it for you. Let's draw this yellow, that's what I want. Here's my slant height. Here is the height of the pyramid, which we don't have, that one in blue. And here is half the base. So the slant height it's telling you is 13. I have a whole base of 10, but I only need half of that, so that's 5. And this one is the height of the triangle. There I can just use Pythagorean theorem. I have two sides of a right triangle, and I need to find the third one. You can just label these A, B, C. Remember, C is the most important letter across from the right angle. I'll call this one B, and I'll call this one A. So C is going to be 13 squared. A is going to become now H squared. And instead of B, I'm going to write 5 squared. 13 times 13 is 169. H squared plus 125. And some of you guys are figuring out a pattern of our right triangles and the combination of numbers. So I'm going to get 144. To get rid of the power of 2 there, I'm going to take the square root. Two identical numbers that multiply 144 are 12. The height is 12. So first thing I did there is find the height of the pyramid. The second thing I'm going to do now is, once I found the height of the pyramid, I'm going to now find the volume of the pyramid. To do that, I'm just going to do base times height divided by 3. Remember, there were 3 pyramids inside of a rectangular prism, so if I just want to find one of those, I'm just finding a third of it. So my base now, let's make sure we're on the same page, running out of colors. My base is the area of the base. That's that whole region down there. So in that case, that's going to be 10 times 10. And my height, here in blue, which we just found, is 12. Don't forget to divide my answer by 3. So if you multiply those numbers, you're going to get 1200 divided by 3, or your volume is equal to 400 units cubed. Now it says to the nearest tenth, so I can actually write that as 400.0 units cubed. And that would be the answer for this one. And the last problem, fill in the blank. Alright, so now I'm just going to find, so our last answer, make sure it's rounded to the nearest tenth. So that is with no decimals. That will be rounded to the nearest whole, or you could say cubic unit. This one will be rounded to the nearest tenth. For number 12, it says fill in the blank square so that each row, so this is an example of a row, and each column, this is a column, contain all of the digits 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes you want to visual, you can write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbers in the cages may repeat. So for example of a cage is these two, but you still have to apply it that they're not in the same row or column. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for all the freebies. Those are the numbers that have no math operation. So that's a 2, and that one's a 3. Now this puzzle has I hope it's easy, because it's just all addition. For example, this one says 7. I need to find 2 numbers that will add up to be 7. Well, the only 2 numbers would be 3 and 4. Now look over here. I can't write a 3 here because this would be repeating. It's against the rules. So you can write 3 and 4. That means the only number that I'm missing in this column is a 1. 2 numbers that multiply to be 3, add to be 3. That'll be 1 and 2. Here, this one says 2 numbers add up to be 3, so that would be 1 and 2. Can't put a 2 here, so I have to put a 1. Let's see here. 2 numbers that add up to be 7. Those are 4 and 3. So 4 and 3. Let's see, what else do we have? 2 numbers that add up to be 7. That'll be 3, 4. Okay, you can't have that repeating number next to it. 2 numbers that add up to be 3. That'll be 1 and 2. Got 2 here, so I got to put a 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And the only numbers I'm missing here are 4. The number I'm missing here is 1. And you can double check your answer that those numbers add up to be 5. So if I look at this problem, I got 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 plus 30 gives me 50. I hope this was helpful for your understanding. Have a good day.